Hello, welcome to About Netflix. There is nothing quite like the adrenaline rush of an action movie full of intense fight scenes, lengthy chase sequences, and dramatic shootouts. Now let's get into the video. Number 1. Skyscraper. It is a 2018 action thriller film directed by Rawson Marshall Thurber. The plot revolves around Will Sawy, a former FBI agent and war hero who now researches building defenses. During the contract for the overhaul of the Hong Kong skyscraper, built on the tallest and strongest structure in the world, things go awry when terrorists target the building, trapping Will's wife Sarah and their 2 children inside the exploding building. The plot continues as Will tries to break into a building and climb a burning skyscraper that is 225 stories above the ground to save his family from danger and stop the terrorists. There isn't much of a deep story to consider, but it works best when Johnson is in action mode. Even so, it falls short of what we've seen in movies like The Fast and the Furious or Black Adam. Still, the story has enough fascinating and suspenseful cases, a small amount of family drama, and some excellent action moments that will please fans of action movies. Number 2. Need for Speed. It is an action crime film directed by Scott Wall. You've definitely heard of this game or played it, but for those who haven't, the movie is an adaptation of the Electronic Arts racing video game series of the same name. In truth, this movie had franchise potential similar to the Fast and the Furious movies, but unfortunately it didn't happen. However, those who enjoy watching auto racing action must see it. The plot centers on mechanic Toby Marshall, who specializes in muscle car racing at an underground racetrack while trying to keep his garage running. In order to continue his profession, he reluctantly joins forces with the wealthy but cunning Dino Brewster, who catches Toby red-handed and imprisons him. 2 years later, Toby is fully prepared for revenge, but the only way to defeat Dino is to win a competitive race. But to arrive on time, he needs to skillfully avoid a group of law enforcement officers and bounty hunters. Apart from action, this movie is also about romance, redemption, revenge, and most importantly, racing. What this movie lacks is a strong rival. But the fantastic car chases and great driving are the main elements that captivate you throughout the movie, and the stunts were really amazing. Number 3. 71. This is an action thriller, directed by Jan Demming. You've probably never heard of this one, and it's one of the most underrated on this list. The plot centers on a young soldier who is inadvertently left behind by his platoon after a terrifying conflict in Belfast in 1971. Unable to tell friend from foe in the chaos that ensues, he is forced to spend the evening alone, navigating dangerous and confusing territory. To get into hiding. The film is intense, has a dark plot and beautifully constructed fight sequences. Skillfully achieves the right balance in the narrative between an engaging action story and a display of devotion to historical events. Number 4. Atomic Blonde. It is an action thriller directed by David Leitch. It's strange that this movie didn't get a sequel. It's a crazy and chaotic action movie that's a delight for fans of the genre. The story follows MI6 top spy, Lorraine Broughton, as she uses all her lethal skills to survive an almost impossible operation. Her mission takes place as the Berlin Wall is poised to come down, as she enters the city center to retrieve the names of the missing dueling spies and uncover a secret surveillance group. She joins forces with the station manager to engage in the most treacherous spy game to complete the mission no matter what. In fact, the story is pretty strong, packed to the brim with spectacular action, including a thrilling 10-minute one-shot fight scene that's wicked and stylish. Plus, Charlize Theron is a fantastic action star. And check out her Netflix movie too, which is too good and has amazing action. Number 5. Homefront. It is an action drama directed by Gary Fleeter. The plot centers on former officer Phil Broker, who decided to leave his terrible past behind and resettle with his daughter in a seemingly peaceful small community. However, his idea of keeping the peace goes horribly wrong when he learns that the area is overrun with criminal activity and drugs. Meanwhile, a neighborhood drug lord puts him and his young daughter in danger, causing Broker to once again spring into action to protect her and their home. The film features some solid old-school action moments, a slick style, and strong performances from the supporting cast. Jason Statham is fun and delivers solid action. 6. American Made. It is a crime-action comedy directed by Doug Liman. The story centers on pilot Barry Seal, who is hired by the CIA to oversee a threat that is developing in Central America. Eventually, however, his work was noticed by the Medellin cartel, which is connected to Pablo Escobar, and was looking for a worker with his expertise. However, Barry gains control of one of the CIA's largest covert programs, which not only offers him money-making opportunities, but also puts him at serious risk. It is the terrifying true story of the life of Barry Seal, a former CIA pilot who joined Medellin as a drug trafficker in the 1980s. When you watch the movie, you will get the answer to a few of your questions about whether or not he was caught and whose side he was actually on. The premise itself is interesting, and the humor and satirical touch it adds to an already dramatic crime thriller is simply incredible. Anyone who wants to see Tom Cruise in movies other than the Mission Impossible series needs to see this one. Number 7. Tomb Raider. It is a 2018 action-adventure film directed by Roar Thog. It is a reboot of the Tomb Raider film franchise and is based on the video game of the same name. The story centers on Lara Croft, who, in an attempt to uncover the mystery behind her father's disappearance, embarks on a perilous journey to the final destination, a legendary tomb on a mythical island where he is believed to have been. Lara Croft is the child of an extraordinarily rich explorer who went missing many years ago. As her quest progresses, the risks mount, and Lara is forced to forge ahead into uncharted land using her shrewd intellect, strong faith, and steadfast attitude. However, the task becomes increasingly difficult as just getting to the island becomes highly dangerous, leaving her with no choice but to stand beyond its borders. The plot is functional and uneven, but an epic journey around the island. The hunt and the action hold the audience's attention from the first moment. Number 8. Eternals. It is a superhero action film based on the strange comic book creatures of the same name. I'm surprised so many fans didn't enjoy this. Of course, it's not the greatest, and a lot of potential was wasted. However, we can't dispute the fact that it features some of the best new characters and opens the door to great future stories. Although we may not realize it now, Eternals may become one of the most underrated superhero movies in the future. The Eternals are a sort of ancient alien group and a fresh team of Marvel Cinematic Universe superheroes who have quietly resided on Earth in secret for hundreds of thousands of years. After the end of Endgame, an unexpected event forces them to band together to fight against humanity's ancient rivals, the Deviants, who are determined to destroy the Earth. As the plot develops, it becomes increasingly clear why they want to destroy her and why the Eternals arrived on Earth in the first place. If you intend to watch the MCU movies from the beginning, you can watch this movie now and connect the dots later because it has an independent plot. The Icarus and Mac Carey characters were the best. Once the action started, they were amazing, especially Macari's speed abilities, and the way they were showcased was unique and unlike any speedster we've seen many times. The film features spaceships, monster fights, and spectacular visuals. But it could have been better if there was more action and more intensity. Number 9. The Bad Guys: Reign of Chaos. It is a crime-action drama directed by Sun Young-ho. The story begins when a bus transporting prisoners turns around, allowing the criminals to escape. Subsequently, the police assemble a specialized task force that must act quickly to control the resulting chaos and catch up with them again. The main story focuses on Park Woong-chil, who joins a specialized task force to find the perpetrators and bring them back into custody. But when a criminal group steps in and starts interfering, the situation becomes difficult. The plot stays true to its genre and offers plenty of action, tension, and suspense, thanks in large part to the creative stunts. The characters are fascinating, and some hilarious situations will have you laughing out loud. Although the plot is very typical and has decent CGI, the film is worth seeing in action. Number 10. Black Adam. It is a 2022 superhero action film directed by John Colet-Serra. The action starts the moment you see The Rock and doesn't stop until the end credits roll. Yes, this movie has non-stop epic action sequences that will keep you on the edge of your seat. The story begins almost 5,000 years later, when Black Adam received the highest powers from the old gods, but for some reason the gods locked him in his eternal grave. The madness begins when an archaeologist searching for a historical crown accidentally discovers Black Adam's grave and awakens him without fully understanding who he is. After being set free, Black Adam sets out to wreak havoc and pursue his path of justice. However, a team of superheroes called the Justice Society tries to stop him from destroying everything in his path. But can he? In addition, the mystery surrounding the crown plays a significant role in this, which adds to the action in the climax. The storytelling wasn't strong enough, but we won't discuss what went wrong because on this topic, we're only rating this movie for its ability to deliver entertaining action, and if all you want is action, this one has plenty of it, and it won't disappoint. That's it for today. Thanks for watching this video. And subscribe to our channel to see more videos related to movie and series suggestions.